Now check this out. Ready for this? The men who wrote down the information of the Quran were Abdullah ibn Husud, Ubay ibn Kab, Zayd bin Unthabe, Abuwea, Ibn Abu Sufyan, amongst others, right? Human scribes that Muhammad had to write down the Quran for him. Uthman burned 6 out of the 7 Qurans, took Zayd's copy, and said this is the one. The 7 Qurans were all recited differently. This is why Uthman burned 6 out of the 7, because when the Qurans were all written, originally there was 2. But they contradicted one another as well. Out of these 2, 7 more came down. Uthman burned 6 out of the 7. Many Muslims will say, yeah, but he didn't do it because they were corrupted. Well, then why did he do it? They don't realize that many of the people who recited what Muhammad said to them died in battle. Uthman didn't have many of the reciters left. So he got what was left of them, told them to recite everything that they had on paper. It all contradicted one another, both in little ways and in small ways, which is why 7 Qurans were created. Uthman burned 6 out of the 7. He chose them in no particular order. Muslims will say, yeah, well, he went to, all over the country to millions of people and got their, and got what they said, one by one by one. Okay, that's false. There's no record of that ever happening. What there is a record of, though, there's a record of Uthman having a certain type of affinity to Said and agreeing with what he had. It sounded the best. Okay? When they say the Quran is perfectly preserved from start to finish, that's a false statement. Because it historically isn't, and it can't be. Number one, because the Quran isn't written in chronological order. It's written all over the place. Stories end, and they pick up in another 50 to 60 pages. There's so much commentary because there's so much gaping holes in the Quran itself. If you were to read the Quran without any of the hadiths, without any of the commentary, just reading it from front to back, you wouldn't understand it. Reason being is because it's not perfectly preserved, because major pieces are missing, because major players who had a lot of the information died, and their information died with them. Historically, the Quran is not perfectly preserved from start to finish, because if it was, it would have been like the Bible, clear, concise, perfect Word of God.